kind of felt we had a good football team, and our key factor was trying to stay free of injuries. And we've been very, very fortunate up to the present time, and we're hoping that things will work out for us Friday night, and we still have a long season ahead of us. It's always a rival game with Scranton Prep. Number one is because my brother-in-law is the coach there, and I always tell him the smartest thing he ever did was marry my sister. So they've got a fine football team, and it should be an exciting game. I feel that our strength this year will be, of course, in our offensive unit with Bill and Bob Ruddy at our fullback and tailback spot. We have a very fine wide receiver in Jeff Viola and a fine quarterback in Mark Senefant.
How about defensively this year? What do you got coming back? What does it look like for you?
Well, we feel we'll be very strong defensively. We do have to replace three fine young men that left that have graduated in our secondary, and I think that would probably be our biggest primary concern right now. And I think the big difficulty that we as all small schools have is the depth problem, and I hope that we can stay healthy, and then we should be in the thick of the Big 11 football race.
Well, I felt Riverside had a fine football team, and I didn't think we'd move the ball as well as we possibly had. And of course, they got a fine football team. They played us very, very tough. And we're just happy to come out with the victory.
It's something that I don't know if anyone in the country has ever had something like this. And we have two boys that are twins that have scored 1,000 yards and made it on the same evening, which I think is almost unique. And we're just so happy for them. I know this is what their dad wanted, and we're just so happy. I know Jim's looking down on us right now and saying, boy, I'm just so proud of them.
All right, the Ruddy boys, they seem to be doing very well. How's Billy holding up in this weather?
Very well, very well. We're very happy with things going. We've got 24 minutes to play a football game yet, and we've got to make sure we play real intently in the first half.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Coach Jack Henses of the Dunmore Bucks.
As you see, Jack Henses with the Eastern Conference Class A trophy. They've got their championship in Dunmore, a perfect 13-0 season. Tim Carlson is down there now. He's going to get Jack Henses. Timmy.
Coach, this is just a tremendous win for your ball club, an undefeated season. Did you really ever think they could just pull this all together, stay injury-free, and do it?
Well, that was a big problem we thought we had early part of the year, but our kids came on so strong. This is something that when I was first hired in Dunmore 15 years ago, they wanted an Eastern Conference championship. And I had the best contract of any college coach. They gave me 15 years to do it. And I was just so thrilled. Our entire community, it's a great victory for us.
Coach, the performance of the Ruddy boys all season long, the season was dedicated to the Ruddy boys' father, and it seemed to inspire the whole ball club, and you included. Would you say that was the whole key?
I think so. Jim was a great man, and I know he's looking down upon us today, and I just wish that he was here to see us, but I know he's smiling up there right now, and the kids did a great job for us.
Are you really surprised that you could win this big over West Scranton? That was a very good football team all year, West Scranton. Did you really think you were going to win this easily today?
Well, I don't think we won easily. I thought our kids played very, very well. We played inspired football, and they made some early mistakes early part of the game, and our kids just took advantage of it. But our football team was determined. You know, to beat a team twice in 1 year is quite an accomplishment. And to go 13-0,
Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations, and we'll see you again next year.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Coach Jack Henses of the champion Dunmore Bucks, the Eastern Conference. Somehow I'm going to try to get out of here. We'll see you later on the update with all the highlights.
So I thought it was a great performance by our entire football team. Bobby's a great football player. Billy's a great runner. They're just, we're going to miss them so much. But Mark Senefant did a super job for us today, and our entire offensive line did a super job blocking those people. And I thought, really, you know, when you come down to it, they really didn't score on our number ones. Our kids did a great job, and we're just so thrilled with them all year.
The Dunmore Bucks capped their perfect season, winning their 13th game against no losses. West falls to 10-2.
It was just great, and I always wanted to win this for the people of Dunmore, you know, right here in our own field, because this is a great community, they have a great deal of pride, and they stayed with us all those years. We've been here before, and things have just gone our way, but we're real happy for it, and God was extremely good to us this year.
Jack Henses will field a team filled with sophomores and juniors, especially on defense.
We lost an all-scholastic strong safety in Todd Senefant and Mike Kowalski, our cornerback. So we have to make one or two changes there with the people that we have. Well, our biggest difficulty is being our defensive line and our inside linebackers. We lost some great kids last year that had a real great speed, so we've got our work cut out for us. We got some young people that play the wideouts for us, and hopefully that they'll be able to throw the football at the time, be able to throw the football to them. So right now our timing is off a little bit because of the young receivers that we have.
So far, the opinion among the coaches we've talked to is that the preseason favorite in the Big 11 are the Bucks from Dunmore. How does head coach Jack Henses feel about getting the so-called kiss of death?
Well, you know, it's always nice that people have they have the same feeling for you and all that, and I'm sure that I'll pick one of those other teams also. But our kids have worked hard for us, and we should be in the top 4 or 5 teams in the league. You know, if we don't get some major injuries and keep our kids healthy, I think that we'll be a good opponent for every football team that we play. Now, when you play Mount Carmel, you're going to play a well-coached football team, and he had his football team ready to play Dunmore High School. And we're fortunate to come out with a win. We made a few mistakes, but you got to give them an awful lot of credit. We're very proud of our football team because they played very hard. You know, you've got 11 young men that grew up in a great country of America, and they've got a lot of desire. Their coaches deserve a lot of credit. Their players played hard. And we just told our kids, hey, you're going to have to go after them in the second half. You're going to have to play Big 11 football. You're going to go attack them and do the best you possibly can, and, you know, and see what happens.
So the Bucks of Dunmore now advance to the Single A state championship game next weekend at Middletown High School.
There's Jack.
Last night, we had a chance to visit with Jack. We went live, in fact, from the hotel in Middletown. The team came down overnight. It's 10 o'clock start. It's about a 2-hour drive, so they came down yesterday afternoon. And Coach Henzes, I thought, was a little anxious last night. I think maybe a little bit nervous. First time ever that his team has been in a position to win a state playoff. And, of course, the reason for that, they've only had the second year of state playoffs this year.
Down on the field with John Henses. John, any surprises? A 13-0 first period.
Well, right now we're playing very well defensively, and we hope we can keep this up because they've got a fine football team. They're going to start throwing the football, so we're going to have to be better prepared than what we have been at the present time. Our defense is playing real good, and hopefully we can continue it.
Well, they've been blowing them out pretty well.
Well, our offensive line is doing a great job, and we said that's where we have to win this game up front.
John, first half impressions.
Well, I think offensively we're playing very well as defensively. We just got to get a little more pressure on the quarterback, and he's doing a fine job throwing the football against us. We're going to have to get a little better pass rush than we have at the present time.
You were right. They can score almost at will. Well, not at will, but they can score quite easily.
Well, they got excellent receivers, and Jeremy's an excellent quarterback, so we've got to make sure we keep inside the pocket, don't get them outside of us. That's what's happening here. Of course, the footing is getting a little more treacherous right now, but basically we're very happy where we're at this present time.
See you in the second half.
Okay, thank you very much.
John Henses just about ready to put one in. Some thoughts at 38-6.
Well, our kids are playing very well. We're very happy to be in this position right now, and they've just done a great job for us. We're so very happy. Hopefully we can hold on, and right now it's just a great total team victory.
Well, you have to be able to taste something right now.
Well, you know, our kids have worked very hard for us all year. We come from a great conference. Big 11 plays hard-nosed football. We felt we had to run right at them. That's what we did.
Thanks very much, John.
Dunmore Bucks, let's go to Jay Christopher right now. Jay?
All right, thank you very much, Paul. You see John Henses smiling. He's just been dunked with a lot of probably Gatorade. We're following him out on the field right now, and we're going to try and get him for just a quick comment before he goes off to the locker room. John, right here. Okay, we're right here. John, your first state title. What's your impressions? What does it feel like?
It just feels great inside. Our kids did a great job. We're so happy for our town and our community. It's just super. It's the first title from our high school, and we're just thrilled with it. We love it so very much.
If there was any surprise other than the score early on, what would that have been?
Well, we thought we could control the line of scrimmage, and our offensive line did a super job. Defensively, our kids did as much as they possibly could do. That's a good football team. We're very fortunate today.
What do you have to say about Keystone now? They came in here at 12-0, and yet they just went flat.
Well, they had some, it looked like their kids were a little bit tired. I think maybe our physical strength was just too much for them. They had a hard time with our people up front. As the game began, it wore down a little bit on them, you know?
I guess you're going to have a little time for all of this to sink in. You got a parade coming up downtown Dunmore a little later on. Congratulations on a great win here at Middletown.
Well, thank you very much. We're very happy for our community and our school, especially our seniors that have had a great year for us. We're so happy, and thanks be to God. He was good to us.
Congratulations. Okay, back upstairs.
As we look at Jack Henses, I have to go back. His father, the late Papa Bear Henses, somewhere up there, wearing a big smile, happy that he won his trophy in the state championship, just as his father did, winning all those Eastern Conference championships with Blakely and Valley View. So there he is, Happy Jack, taking the trophy, and his happy fans back to Dunmore. Well, take a look. 2 playoff games, 84 points for Dunmore. 27 against South Williamsport, 57. All right, that's the final score, 57-18.
Dunmore saved its best for last, 57-18 over Keystone.
Our offense and defensive line was just too big for them. They had a hard time controlling us, and our kids did a super job. We're just so happy for our community and our high school, and very happy for our seniors because they did a super job for us.
The win was the 14th of the season against just one loss for the PIAA state Class A champions, the Dunmore Bucks.
The Coach of the Year award is probably the only honor Jack Henses has never won in his 23 years of coaching. His teams have taken Big 11 and Eastern Conference championships and captured the biggest prize of all 2 weeks ago when the Bucks took the Class A state championship with a victory over Keystone High School.
It's a great feeling, and this could not have been accomplished without the hard work of our assistant football coaches and the fine talent of football players that we had, academically as well as athletically.
Dunmore finished the season with a record of 13 wins and just one loss. That one loss was to perennial power Berwick in the Eastern Conference title game. But with less than 30 players on the squad and most playing two ways, the Bucks came back from that defeat and fulfilled their goal of winning the state crown.
It was probably the biggest football team we've had in my 19 years at Dunmore High School. They have a lot of talent academically as well as athletically, and they blended very well together.
The honor to Coach Henses just added to an exciting day at Dunmore High School today. This morning, members of the state champions were awarded their PIAA medals at an assembly in the gym. An appearance by Santa Claus highlighted the gathering as the Dunmore football players once again relived one of the greatest seasons in the history of the sport at their school.
Our kids blocked very well, and Tommy threw the ball exceptionally well tonight, and receivers Ernie Gatto and Jamie Tomasetti and Dean Dodge did a super job for us, not only tonight but all year, and we're very happy to be in this type of situation. We have some kids that have played for us, so they know how to block the different defenses, hopefully so. And then, of course, that if we can stay healthy, I think we're going to have a fine football team. They've worked very hard in our winter program. They worked very hard in the summer program. They participated in the spring sports with track and baseball, which I feel helps them tremendously. And they're just doing a great job for us right now. We've got 4 captains that are leading our seniors this year, and this is probably the biggest group we've had out for our football team in a number of years. We have 44 players dressed, and that's a big group for our size of our school. We're taking it very slow. We have a very young football team at the present time. We only have 9 seniors on our team at the present time, so we're going to play the seniors as much as we possibly can, and hopefully that our younger players, we have 40 players out for the football team, so we have 31 underclassmen, so we're going to be playing a lot of young players this year, and hopefully that we can continue to get better as the season progresses. I've been very fortunate. The years where I've coached at Blakely in Wyoming area and at Dunmore, where number one, the primary concern is the education, and number two, we feel that the athletics will take care of themselves, and we have a fine faculty that works very hard with our players, and they're interested in our kids.
That philosophy has worked so well for Coach Henses. He continues to turn out winner after winner, both on the field and off at Dunmore High School.
Dunmore would then put it away. Nick Germano hits the pile, then spins out and goes into the end zone. Coach Jack Henses gets his 200th victory as Dunmore downs Lackawanna Trail 26-6.
Don't let him off, Timmy! Don't let him off! No zipper!
Dunmore is 12-0 after beating Lakeland 38-21.
Well, we're thrilled. We're very happy for our seniors. But, last year, our boys that played last year for us set the seed. I said they set the seed, and our boys just carried it over this year in our winter weight program and all our jobs, things we had to get done. So we're very fortunate. God has been very good to us.
That's it, Michael. Keep your feet moving. Keep those feet moving. That's the boy.
Dunmore coach Jack Henses is on the verge of a coaching milestone. But if you ask his players,
he hasn't said a word about it. He just wants us to win this week like every week.
A victory over Lakeland on Friday night is win number 300. But Henses is more concerned with the Chiefs.
To do this, his 300th win would be a great thing, but all week we focused on the game and not the 300th win. So
we realize we have a tough opponent on our hands, and Coach Case has done a great job with that football team. They've had some injuries, and now they're at full strength, so it should be an exciting football game.
Don't let his focus fool you. After 35 seasons and 299 wins, Henses says Dunmore football is built on a tradition of excellence.
Well, I think first of all, you look at the young men that have played for us in the past that have accumulated all those victories. They're the ones that have done a great job for us, and our coach has done a great job preparing those kids for them.
he has a vision. Like he sees a football player in midgets and knows they're going to be good players as long as they work hard. So he always stresses hard work and dedication, and 300 wins, no matter when it comes, it's going to be amazing.
With the Dunmore Bucks, Colin Riccabon, WBRE Big Board Sports.
Coach, congratulations. Great job, guys. Congratulations. Great job. Great job, guys. Way to play hard. Way to play hard, fellas. Way to play hard. Congratulations.
And congratulations to Dunmore coach Jack Henses. 300 wins as a high school football coach. Let's wrap up by congratulating Jack Henses and Dunmore football. One win away from the school's second ever state championship.
But this community support has been outstanding. You know, they've just been with us all year.
Coach Henses says his boys are confident thanks to the community's backing.
The Dunmore Bucks made it all the way to the state title game last year. The Bucks are fully loaded and ready to go again this season. Welcome back, everyone. Phil Shaner with Eyewitness Sports, and we're down to team number 1 in our grade 8 high school football poll, the Dunmore Bucks. Coach Henses, last season, that has to really build a lot of character for this team. They had to work hard this offseason because they had that taste of playing for the state title last year.
Well, there's no question about it. We were very fortunate last year. We had some good student athletes that worked very hard for us, and the ball bounced the right way, and as I said, we were fortunate.
You have a quarterback back with experience, and as a coach, you have to love that when you have a guy under center that has a little bit of playing time.
Well, you know, Miller Holmes has been with us 4 years. We made a decision 4 years ago, and of course we were 4 and 6, and then he's just taken us to new heights every year. He's a great young man. He's a great student in the classroom, and he really works hard. His work ethic is unbelievable, and we're very fortunate to have him with us.
What is the biggest question mark going into the preseason? You know, you were so strong last year. You have a couple holes to fill. What is the biggest thing you want to see improvement on for this year?
Well, first of all, we've been unfortunately we've had some tough injuries before we've even started the season. And then, of course, we had some injuries in the first week, so we're kind of playing a lot of young players right now in our scrimmages, hopefully they're going to come through. And I think the success we had last year was that when we got a young man injured, we replaced him with the senior. This year, if we get someone injured, we have to replace him with a sophomore. So, and they lack the experience, but we're very happy the way the young men are working.
And you know, every Friday you got to come ready to play in the Lackawanna League, and you opened with Frank's guys. So, just talk about the schedule this year. And that's a challenge right there in week 1, because you never know what you're going to get in that week 1.
Well, that's very true. You know, there are things the first week you're concerned about. You know, are your kids ready to play? How many mistakes they're going to make? And as I said, we're going to play some young players, and unfortunately, you know, they have to learn through experience.
The Dunmore Bucks are grade 8 team number 1. Coach Henses joins us now. Coach, obviously the first area we'll start is the loss of Michael Perry, but you have some runners that got some time last year. I know you're excited about some of the replacements for Michael as far as running the football this year.
Well, we lost Michael and Frankie, our fullback and our tailback, and of course they've been with us a long time. We've got some young running backs. We only have 2 senior running backs. All the rest of them are all sophomores and juniors. So we're going to have some patience with our people and make sure that we get our reads down. Everything goes well.
You know the games on Friday are one at the line of scrimmage. You have to be excited about your front guys, both on the offense and defensive side. Probably the strength of the team this year. Big up front. You have some big people on that line.
Well, we hope so. You know, they've been back the second and the third year players for us, so both offensively and defensively. So that's going to be our strong point of our football season.
And your first one's a tough one. North Pocono, a tough first week opponent. Talk about getting your team ready. Do you kind of like having that big game right off the bat because you have the couple of weeks to prepare these kids to really get it going that first week?
Well, out of the first 3 weeks, we played 2 teams that are AAA, so we're going to have our hands full. North Polka's a fine football team. Coach Simkowski has done a great job with them. They're very well coached. They got big kids, and we're worried about the number of boys that they play in the game versus our boys. And if we get a hot night, we might be in difficulty that night.
Team number 2, the Dunmore Bucks.
Legendary coach Jack Henses has weathered nearly a half-century as a high school football coach, and he says the rain won't keep his Bucks from running the ball.
You have to deal with what the situation is, but we're very fortunate that we have after the field turf, so we're not worried about the rain. That we'll be out every day. 12-month deal with me, and I just keep working at as best I possibly can, and working with the young men invigorates you to a great extent, and we're fortunate to have some young men that work very hard for us, so I'm looking forward to it.
On the wall next to Dunmore football coach Jack Henses' desk are pictures and memories from more than 40 years of coaching history.
Everybody just enjoys our football program immensely.
During this Super Bowl week, one of those pictures,
he was an excellent athlete,
has got a couple more looks.
Very intelligent player and a young man that worked very, very hard.
San Francisco defensive coordinator Vic Fangio has certainly earned his spot in the Dunmore locker room. A former Buck himself, Fangio's coaching career also started at his alma mater.
He coached me for 1 year, and then he started to branch out, and of course everything started to work very well for him.
Soon after becoming Dunmore's defensive coordinator, Fangio found a new office to call home.
I asked him what he wanted to do.
That came after a heart-to-heart with Henses.
When he said, "I'd like to be a college coach," I said to him, "Well, now's the time to leave when you're young enough."
He wanted to be able to coach at every opportunity he could. And I thought the experience he got from Coach Henses was great.
East Stroudsburg was just the first of many doors to open for Fangio, from one job to the next.
He did a great job not only with Carolina, but he was at Baltimore.
Through college and into the pro ranks.
He went to Stanford University.
And then Stanford to the 49ers.
He would jump around to 5 different NFL teams before stopping in San Francisco.
He's worked very hard to be able to put himself in the position he's here.
Whichever team Vic is with, you can bet those he touched along the way will be donning his squad's gear on Sundays.
It's all packed, ready to go.
Ken Brown, Eyewitness Sports.
Congratulations. Have a great game, young man. Have a great game. Great game, son. Congratulations, you did a great job.
Good game tonight, guys. Good luck. Joe Brown, glad to meet you. Congratulations, Joe Brown.
I told him we started this journey, there were 3 things we had to keep in mind. Number 1, we had to play with passion. You've done that. Number 2, we got to be persistent. Be persistent. Stay with it. And last but not least, you got to be patient. You found that out last week. Be patient in what you're doing. Believe in one another, and we can get this job done today. No question in my mind. But we got to fly to the football as the coaches have taught you, and make sure that we do the things the right way, the way you've been taught. And we'll have a good game tonight. That's all we're asking you to do. Play hard, play with enthusiasm, and be patient when you have to get done. We'll get it done. Hey, listen up now. Hey, as Coach said, stay in your lanes going down. Let's pop that ball loose right off the bat. Let's go. Hey, take care of your own territory. Don't be getting caught inside.
Outside.
Outside. Let's go. Gotta get off the blocks.
Hey, all they're doing is coming up and bouncing to the outside. You gotta set the edge.
Let's go. Let's go here now. Dig down. Let's go. You gotta run to the ball.
We gotta get off.
We're not running to the ball.
Pursue.
Right off the bat, we got to kick off them. Get him in the hole right off the bat. Let's play defense. Let's fly to the ball. Let's fly to the football. Let's go. Let's get a little aggression. Here we go. Ready? Let's go. Here we go.
Go. Gotta play fast. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Get on the ball.
Good.
Get on the ball.
All right, got him in the hole now. Let's go, DQ. Let's go. Got him in the hole. Beautiful kick.
God. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get over here. Hey, calm down. Get over here. Hey, get over here.
They don't have a number. They no number. Have a number.
That's all right. All right, calm down. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We got to overcome those things.
All right.
Good call, Coach. Good call, Jeff. Yeah, baby. Yeah, boy, son. That's the boy. Good job. Sal got blocked. Sal got knocked right down. Sal got knocked right down. Here it's go. Get in there. Make sure you got the ball. Get that backer. Get that backer. Let's go. Good job, son. Good job. Water, water. James, you got to keep your composure out there.
Yes, sir.
If you get thrown out of a game, you can't play.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you got to keep your composure. You get thrown out of the game, you can't play next week.
Yes, sir.
Stop them here. Get in line. They're a fine football team. We had a hard time controlling their speed. And we fumbled the ball a couple times, that hurt us. But overall, basically, we're proud of our kids. You're a hell of a football player. Great job, son. Good job. Yeah. Good job, son. Good job, buddy. Good job, son.
We try to tell them three things. Number one, we got to play with passion. You know, we got to be persistent. And the last thing, of course, we got to be patient. And we told them we have the running backs that if we feel that we can get a few openings, that they can go all the way. And we've been fortunate over the year to do that. So once again, you know, we got our hands full Friday night. This is an excellent football team. You know, they do so many things well. And so we're hoping that we can contain them the best that we possibly can.
Bellwood Henses has a lot of speed.
That's our community right there.
Coach Mark Miller, good luck to you today, buddy. Thank you very much. Just a real quick question about community support. What does it mean to you personally and the team to have the community support you've seen this year?
We've been very fortunate all year. They've been behind us 1,000%. And when our players come on that field and they see all those people there, and it'll be the same thing today. It'll just be amazing. And we're just so thrilled with our fans. They've been great to us all year, and especially in the playoff system. It's wonderful for the community. Well, we didn't make the big plays when we had to. You know, we made a couple mistakes that hurt us throwing the football a little bit, and we just weren't there getting the couple pass intercepts we should have had. But we're very proud of our kids. They did a great job for us.
Coaches, administrators, and nearly 40 football players from the Dunmore High School boarded a bus Tuesday morning, headed to the state capitol.
Representative Kevin Haggerty is going to honor our football team with a citation in Harrisburg, and they're going to honor our football team for the going to the state finals this year, and we're very, very fortunate.
What Humble coach Jack Henses didn't mention is that he too will be honored during the House session. Coach Henses has been chosen as Coach of the Year for the 2012 Pennsylvania Sports Writers Class A All-Star Football Team.
Coach Henses is a great guy, you know. He's a great guy to be around, and he's a great coach, and he's really started the tradition here in Dunmore, and he's going to be great to remember.
Coach Henses is a great guy. He's been here for a while. Everyone knows that. Everyone loves playing for him. You know, he's an all-around good guy. He's a great teacher in the school, too.
The Dunmore Bucks have always had a successful football program, and a reminder of that is that they're heading to Harrisburg today, far after the football season has ended.
My one teammate, Corey Jones, said last night, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. We're already in April, and we're still going on trips for it, so we enjoy it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, you know. We're here in April. The football season ended a while ago, and we're still getting honored for this.
Assistant of my dad.
Coach Henses has been coaching the Dunmore Bucks and teaching here for the last 45 years. We asked Coach his secret for a successful career.
Probably just having good players and good student athletes and good assistant coaches.
It is an honor for me to present to Coach Jack Henses the Lifetime Achievement Award. It is the first time in the 85-year history of this Lions Club Dream Game that we're going to honor a man who gave 58 years of his life to coaching athletes from the old Blakely High School, Wyoming Area High School, and the Dunmore Bucks for the past 48 years. He is a legend. I doubt very much if there'll be another man to dedicate his life to the children of this county at the 3 schools that I mentioned. He's a tremendous role model, high character, great family man, great friend, and a role model for every athlete he had the opportunity to work with. It's a really nice idea that he's being honored here on the field where he grew up. His dad was the legendary coach John Henses, who coached me in high school, and Coach Henses' first year here in 1960, I was his boy. His dad was such a tremendous person, and Coach Henses roamed these sidelines. While he was a young kid, he played here for 4 years, went on to George Washington University, played quarterback, and the rest, as they say, is history. I can't tell you what a special moment this is for his family, our family, and anybody in this stadium who ever watched Coach Henses coach. He was intense, he had a lot of passion, a lot of heart, and guess what? He loved coaching football. I'm going to read the plaque. Lifetime Achievement Award presented to Jack Henses in recognition of his significant contributions and support of the Scranton Lions Club Dream Game, the community, and the development of student athletes. He was Man of the Year in 2012. He was the city coach 1976, 1981, 1985, 1992, 1998, 2005, and 2014. His 1989 team won the state PIA Class A championship. He had 9 District 2 championships. I'm not going to read all the years, they're in the program. He had 8 Big 11 Eastern Conference football championships. He was a member of the Hall of Fame and the following Hall of Fames: Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, Northeast Chapter; Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame; National High School Athletic Coaches Association. His record of 444 wins, 164 losses, and 8 ties is the second in the state of Pennsylvania, next to our good friend George Curry, my teammate at Temple, and Coach Henses' real good buddy. Second in the state. It's an emotional time right now, but I'll tell you, you're never going to find a guy to dedicate what he did for 58 years. And Coach Henses, I love you as a friend, a dear friend, and you deserve every honor you ever achieved. Thank you so much.
Okay. On behalf of my family and myself, I'd like to thank the Lions Club for this great honor. And once again, I owe a lot to my dad, that here's where I played my football, to John Peter Kuski, and of course to Bob DePippi and many other coaches that I've coached against with. It's been a great experience for me. And once again, let's play football. Take care. Thank you very much.
Now I have Coach Jack Henses, now retired. We missed you last season on the sidelines. Then you made the announcement after the season that you were going to retire. What was the reaction from the area and from people about your retirement announcement?
Well, I just wanted to make it easier for the Board of Education, and I felt that I couldn't do it anymore. So I enjoyed my experience. People in Dunmore have been very good to me no matter where I coach. My dad here at Blakely High School, then I was at Wyoming area. People have been super to me, and I enjoyed it. And the athletes work, the student athletes work so very hard for us. So, I'd look back at it. It's been a great experience for me, and I love doing it. Am I going to miss it? Absolutely.
Well,
but other than that, it's time to move on.
And we're going to miss you. I know all over the district, all over the borough of Dunmore, all over Pennsylvania football, everyone's asking, how's Coach Henses doing? How's he doing? How is your health? How you've been feeling?
I'm getting better every day. It took me a while, but other than that, every day's a plus for me.
Okay. Well, thank you. Congratulations on a great career. On behalf of the media, you've been a pleasure to deal with all these years. We're going to miss you. Don't be a stranger. We want to see you around all the time, all right?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach Henses. Congratulations on a great career.
We're honoring a man of 53 years of service. Think about that, 53 years of service.
The hallmark of Coach's career has been consistency. There probably isn't a harder working guy that I've ever met in my lifetime, and I think you could sum up his work ethic as tireless. He has been a role model to thousands of students and athletes in Dunmore High School, and for me and for probably many of you that are sitting here in this room today, has been the quintessential role model. We've all heard the adage, do as I say and not as I do. That's not Coach. He would never ask you to do anything that he wouldn't do himself, and you can bet that if he talked the talk, he was going to walk the walk. I have yet to ever meet an athlete that played for him that wasn't proud to say, I played for Coach Henses. And in the community, same thing. Every community member is not only proud of the successes and the wins that he had, but it's how he won. It's just as important to Coach that he teach you how to conduct yourself on and off the field as it is how to run that 31 gut trap.
Coach was the only coach, no matter what he was teaching, he could interject a little football. If it was driver's ed, he'd tell them, driving a car is a lot like playing football. Can't run off tackle, you can't play football. If you can't make a left-hand turn, you can't drive a car.
He always said, when I die on my tombstone, it's not going to say how many wins and losses I have. And he's right. He's going to be remembered for the person that he is. Everybody in this room, I think, was touched one way or another by Coach Henses and what he brought to us as a teacher. And I think that's the most important thing, the life lessons that he has taught many people in this room. It is second to none. I've had 3 great role models in my life. My mother, God rest her soul, my father, and my second father, Coach Henses. And without him, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. He always said, God first, family second, and then the Dunmore Bucks.
And the common denominator is the love that he had for all of us, the love that he had for his players, his family, the community, the sport. That is what we'll remember. I'm finished now, but this is a great time because I can't remember, Coach, how many times I've said I love you. But now I get to say it with a microphone, and I get to say it in a room full of people who feel the same way that I do. So, Coach, God bless you. I love you.
You've had a tremendous influence on members of our football program and other students in our school district. It is also very clear that your influence has trickled down and had such a great effect on our community and has made the borough of Dunmore a better place. Coach Hens has always stressed academic importance and excellence in the classroom. Coach would always point out and make mention that if you needed to leave practice early for tutoring or because you needed extra study time for a test, your academics was more important. They've both helped so many kids. Their generosity and care for others is simply amazing. And to see so many of those recipients who have gone on to make something out of themselves and give back is just unbelievable.
For how great of a football coach he was always a better person. Coach Henses cares about his players more off the field than he does on the field. Coach invests his own personal time to stay involved in players' lives even after they left his high school program. When I lived in Denver and Philadelphia, Roseanne and Coach would send holiday cards with handwritten notes with them. When I got married last weekend, Coach Henses was the first person in the church. And yes, that was confirmed by Father Sika. He is a life coach who has instilled qualities in me, as well as other players, not only to be successful in life, but to also be a great person and to leave this world a better place than it is today. Thank you, and I love you, Coach.
I know from my experience with my teammates and I, we learned many valuable life lessons. Coach wanted his players to be prepared for life after football. Not just football, he wanted us to be good football players, but he wanted us to be better people. And that's something that will stick with me forever. And everything you've done for this community, Dunmore High School.
Jack Hens has offered to me some qualities that are hard to find these days. Displaying a true sense of loyalty to Dunmore, his players, his coaches, and most importantly, his family. He found it easy to have faith in people. Whether it was his players or his coaches, he believed in the quality of their best work. He never walked into a classroom where he was unprepared. He never put a team on the field that was unprepared. And his ego was never too big to give credit where credit was due and take the heat for those who might have erred. His philosophy never changed. He wanted his students and athletes to be good citizens and give back to the community. This afternoon, we remember Coach Hens' prominent impact on one's life. I can only be grateful, Coach, that I was one of them that you had an impact on, and the chance to say publicly, thank you.
Over 50 plus years of coaching, he has preached the same lesson. And that was the lesson his dad said. And Papa Bear said, taught him how to live the game of life, to live life right, and to keep priorities with God and family. And that message has never varied. And I stand here before you today as a philosophy, as a disciple of that philosophy. Coach taught fundamentals. And Dunmore has always been, as I've seen in a lot of teams across the state, probably the most fundamental and sound team I have ever seen. Technique and understanding of the game that he has taken usually average kids and make them play above their heads. And that goes back to just that start, fundamental sound. Here, do what you have to do. Take care of the little things, the big things will take care of themselves. But Roseanne is the general manager. She's the GM. And I could tell you, I think she's had input into some of our game plans, too.
But it really comes down to how my dad treated people, and he treated people fairly. And I think that's how I'm going to remember it.
Coach Jack Henses.
I commend the committee for this wonderful affair, and really something that I really didn't want, but you know how people are, so I'm thankful for everybody that's coming today. I really enjoyed myself. You know, I feel like the luckiest man in the world, because it's something that you don't get people to honor you in this particular way. But overall basis, I enjoyed my teaching at that Blakely High School. My dad was my biggest mentor that we had. You know, I can remember him writing things down when I was 12 years of age. And I said to him, "What are you doing?" He said, "You'll learn this." And then I finally became an assistant coach with him, and I would say one of my biggest mentors that I had. I was there 2 years. He said to me, "You're ready." I said, "Ready for what?" He said, "You're ready to take over and call the plays." And things worked out for us, and then I became the head coach of my home area, and everything went well for us there. And then all of a sudden, I became the head coach at Dunmore High School. I can't thank the people from Blakely High School where I coached, my home area, and especially Dunmore. You know, they're very, very good to us, to my family, and I really enjoyed myself tremendously. Like I said before, I feel like I'm the luckiest man in the world to have this done. But more importantly, you know, when I started coaching, my dad and I used to go over to my wife's house and have a sandwich. I'm not one of these guys that go out and, as some of the other coaches do, and I always tell them, I said, if you go out someplace, that's fine, just don't embarrass yourself or Dunmore High School. And I think that's what they've done. I've been very, very fortunate to have people with me that know the game of football, and because of them, the success that we've had at Dunmore High School is very, very important. I still look at the tapes of our players. I still look at the defenses and the specialty teams. You know, I saw the Dunmore game the other evening against Carpnell. Saw Joe Marciano, and Joe going over some things. Then we had a nice chat about different things that we've done, and I've said to Coach McHale, and he'll do a great job for you, believe me, because Kevin was an excellent player for me, an excellent individual, good student, and he's going to be a good football coach. You know, he's got to play a lot of young players this year, and they'll do well. I know one thing, as someone mentioned before, the Henzes family behind Kevin are behind 100%. Stay behind that guy. My dad was my biggest mentor. Of course, he said to me, he said, "You know, you were a quarterback in high school, you better learn line play." So I spent time with him. You know, I always look at this aspect. You know, coaching is teaching. And when you teach the proper way, you look at things and say to yourself, you're not always going to be successful, but you're always going to be prepared. And I've been very fortunate at Dunmore to have administrators that care about our program. The teachers that I've taught with that are so cooperative. You know, when our students need some help academically, I remember what my dad used to say, one day is not going to make you a better football player. That's why I work so hard in the wintertime, in the spring, and of course, and in the summertime. You know, but one more day may help you pass that test. So it's important in that particular aspect. So I try to follow his philosophy in that particular case. I've been fortunate at Dunmore High School to have good student athletes. You know, for me to mention any one of them would be not very respectful. But the kids there respected me, they respected our program, and they worked extremely hard for us. But basically, you know, the administration in Dunmore has been very, very good to me and my family. You know, my dad taught me many years ago, don't bite the hand that feeds you. So I get all my cars repaired in Dunmore, buy all my clothes in Dunmore, most of my food in Dunmore, you know, and all that stuff right there. So it's just something that you keep in mind. You know, I can't thank the past administration and the Board of Education for the support and the program they've given to us. You know, our teachers and the coaches. I never felt it was always one man that did it. You know, I don't like that word, like, I too much. You know, I don't like that word at all. You know, I know it's a pronoun you have to use every once in a while, but the teachers and the people have been good to me. That no matter if our students were in trouble, even the good students that maybe had a problem in that particular day, we got after that, and that was important. And that's not only done by me, by the assistant coaches. Newspaper and television for the wonderful coverage over the years they've given us. I mean, it's been outstanding. Past and current players, especially their families, for giving me the opportunity to coach and guide them. It has been my honor to teach these young men in not just football, but the game of life. You know, I can't thank the Dunmore Oilers for sending all those nice players to you. As I said before, you know, good players make you a good coach real quick. The community of fans, the student body of Dunmore, I must say we have the best fan support of any school in the league. And whether we won or lost, you know, or things didn't go well, that I always remember the police department and the fireman department always went to the top of Drinker Street, and the fans on the sides waving our kids in, and that's so important. I think other communities have established that, which is great, It's important, and then the people at the field house that were there to meet us from time to time. My children, their spouses, are very good, and they come checking on me every night, and make sure everything I take my medication has to be done, and I just something that I do with, and I'm very fortunate to have the people that graduate from Dunmore High School, because it's a great educational system, do extremely well in that particular case. And I know I mentioned a lot of people, but I got to mention my cardiologist, very good. She's done a great job for me, And Coach McHale and his assistants, best of lucks that you ever can just keep on going. Remember the things that you were taught. And I always say to the people, once a buck, always a buck. God bless.
Never look at the video.
Coach Henses, a wonderful night tonight. We touched on many things, mainly fundamentals and really your role first as a teacher and coach. Would you like to comment on that?
Well, I tell you what I tell my assistants when I was coaching, that first thing to try to be a better person every day. Number two, try to do things the right way in that particular aspect, whatever it may be, be a better student as best you possibly can. Number three, I always tell them, maybe make yourself a better football player. And we as a coaches try to do that as we prepare for every game, and I think that's so important. So the three things I hope our not only myself, but our assistant coaches have passed on to our players, and of course hope that they would heed to that. And I've coached at 3 schools, my dad at Blakely High School, and I was assistant and the head coach of Miami area. People have been very, very good to me, and especially in Dunmore High School. The administrative staff and everybody's been very good to me, and I just carry on the best I possibly can, trying to help out the new coach with different things as best I can, and I can't thank the Friends of the Bucks, the Board of Education, what they've done for us, and I feel like the luckiest man in the world. Tremendous turnout, and I hope everybody had a good time. I know I did, so most importantly is that, once a buck, always a buck.
I'd like to welcome you all on this wonderful night for the monument of our coach, Jack Henses. This is a wonderful night in honoring our coach. I'd like to say that I can't believe that the statue is here. This statue stands for a reason, that I believe 3 reasons. First, the school where Coach was first a teacher, and we all know that. He pushed education, and he believed knowledge was the vehicle to true success. So it overlooks the school. Secondly, it's right ahead of our field house where he uses teaching skills to prepare so many student athletes. And finally, it stands looking at the field where Coach brought hundreds and hundreds of victories and many, many championships. And he did that here for 47 years. Coach. Coach Hopkins is telling me to speed up here, so now I'm going to introduce the first speaker. I had to say my piece. First speaker is our head coach, Kevin McHale, and before I bring him up, Coach always told us that no person is any bigger than this program, and great men came before Coach, and I mentioned this at the banquet, and great men would follow. And Coach once again was right. Coach Kevin McHale worked along with Coach Henzes and led the Bucks to our 2007, our 2012, and our 2014 state championship final game. And as a senior, Coach McHale, fullback linebacker, led the Bucks to its first ever District 2 championship in 1995, and I'm honored to have coached him, and I feel fortunate to be part of his staff right now. Together with Shelley, his wife, and two sons, Jack and Colin, they work every day to make this program, to continue to make this program successful. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Kevin McHale.
On behalf of the Dunmore School District, the great citizens of the borough of Dunmore, the Dunmore football program, and all of our supporters, I'd like to thank the Henzes family for their unwavering commitment to our student athletes, our football program, and our community for the past 47 years. I'd especially like to thank Miss Roseanne Henzes. We are grateful for her generosity and kindness. She is still very close to our program. Mrs. Henzes, we can't tell you how blessed we are for your support. In just the past 2 days, we reached out to some former players and asked them to give us one word that comes to mind when you think of Coach Henzes and a life lesson he taught you. Coach, we can write a book on the life lessons you have taught us. What better way for you to hear these messages than to have some of our current players read a message from some of your former players. The word that comes to mind when I think of Coach Henzes is faith. And one of many lessons that I learned from him is to take inventory of yourself every day, and you either get better or you get worse, but you never stay the same.
Michael DeSando, dedicated. The importance of being prepared. Tom Hurst, respect. Jack Kuchowski, genuine. Jeff Mills, committed. The importance of attention to detail.
Bruce Coyer, dedicated. Coach Henzes reinforced the importance of leading by example. Gene DeVizio, honorable. Honorable because that would describe him in all aspects of life. Patrick Reese Sr., fearless. He taught us that life outside of football is tough. With life, you're going to get knocked down. Life in football, you have to keep getting back up and meet your opponent with great fury. Win or lose, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and know that you gave 110%, because 100% is unacceptable.
Lou Gargiola. It's hard to describe Coach in one word, but if I had to, it would be love. He taught me the importance of faith and family first than the rest relating to football. Kurt Bauman, grit. God must be first. Dave Yanisco, intestinal fortitude. It's not one word, but two. Intestinal fortitude. I was taught that the lessons learned playing, mostly practicing, and or preparing for the game are more important than the game itself. Preparation, accountability, teamwork, selflessness, sacrifice, leadership, respect for oneself, teammates, and the opponents.
Sean Gallagher Sr., resilient. Coach Henge taught me to trust those around me and trust in my own abilities. Michael Gardier, authentic, grateful for his values and how he turned me into a man.
Pat Hart, unwavering, grateful that Coach taught us how to be a gentleman and put the time into doing things the right way. Beyond football, he wanted us to grow up to be successful members of our community. Kevin Spager, calculated. I would say that Coach taught us perseverance towards a goal and giving us the tools to adjust when needed, not only on the field but in life.
Miller Holmes, discipline. Coach Henzes developed habits that were necessary for the style of the football program he wanted to run. His brutal honesty and criticism forced you to work harder every day. Greg Lukowski, finish. The biggest thing I still take with me every day is a lesson in quote. It's not how you start, but it's how you finish. Believe in it when I played and first saw it hand against Lansdale Catholic, going down 14-0 early. Believed in it when I started my career to where I've gotten. And I believe in it on a smaller day-to-day scale. Being in sales doesn't matter how you start your day or your week. If you end strong, you won the day or week. Go Bucks.
Justin Mitchell. He taught me that how you handle adversity helps to define your character. Michael Enoch, passionate. One thing that I am glad he taught me that I still use today would be give 100% in whatever you are doing and do it with pride.
Colin Holmes, uplifting. Grateful for him staying true for what he believed in, even if it was never the most popular decision. Grateful for the life lessons of football that he emphasized. Preparation, dealing with adversity, staying in a routine, prioritizing the classroom over football, goal setting. All of those principles have been important for my development as a person, friend, and family member.
Tom DeLilla, selfless. Grateful to be part of the legacy he helped create and take pride in holding myself accountable as a Buck. Coach helped me instill great values on me and assisted with building exceptional character on and off the field.
Brian Hales, intense. Do everything with integrity. Ross Cadaro, perseverance. Persevere on the field and in life. Dave Zankner, the word that comes to mind is football. He loved everything about the game and was born with the whistle. He taught players respect on and off the field as he turned young boys into men. Derek Fergione, character. Character values plus mental toughness equal consistency.
Sean Colo, integrity. Coach always stressed the importance of being honest, truthful, and doing things the right way, always on the field, even more importantly, off the field. There was no cutting corners or shortcuts to success, and these weren't just words, he led by example. Beyond personal integrity, Coach also stressed the integrity of the game, things like respecting our opponents, honoring the rules, and abiding by the referee's decisions. For me, one of the many lessons I'm grateful for was that Coach Henses taught us how to win. We were obviously fortunate to have an exceptional team and a win-loss record, so we had a lot of practice. But once you get used to winning, it becomes part of who you are. For me, that created a mental framework that I apply often, especially in the corporate world. Winning just doesn't happen. It takes incredible focus, intensity, and preparation. For me, the success we had on the field inspired a lifelong drive to achieve the same level of success off the field. So I'm thankful to Coach for teaching me this invaluable insight.
Joe Marciano, innovator. We played a game at Berwick, and during the week, Coach gave me a wristband with formations and plays on it. He will signal in a number, and as his quarterback, I would look on my wristband and call the play. This was his very first season at Dunmore. I wore a wristband before there were ever wristbands, and now it's common. Innovator. Comes to a mind a creator of new ideas. And up to the days before we both retired, he would call back and look for new ideas. That's something about Coach Henses. A coach. He was always seeking to get better. He made everyone better. I'm extremely proud to be one of Coach Henses' first captains at Dunmore High School back in 1971. God bless Coach Henses, and God bless 32 Trap.
413 wins. I could have used a few of those in my last night. I'll just say a few things here. You know, the two words that come to my mind when you ask about Coach is, passion and intensity. The guy had a passion for football, had a passion for teaching young men the right way, and as much as he had a passion and intensity for winning, if you did wrong, he was going to sit you. Okay, and that didn't change, right? Hope not. So he won a lot of games. He won them the right way, but it's his passion and intensity for the game that I was attracted to and started me on my long journey. And I thank you for that, Coach. It says on that statue, educator also, but to be a great educator, you always have to be willing to have a drive to learn. And he never stopped trying to learn. You know, he'd call me wherever I was over the last 40 years, and always looking for a tip, some new play, some new defense, something to help him get a win. You know, and to me that just goes back to the intensity and the passion that he had for the game, and he never lost that. I mean, I saw it, I stayed in touch with him all through those years, and it's that, to me, the passion and intensity that he had for football and for Dunmore High School was unparalleled. And I think the town, he's a treasure for this town. 47 years, I mean, come on. I couldn't last more than 3. And, so the whole town, not just this area, but specifically Dunmore, has been lucky and honored and privileged to have Coach in our lives.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
You know, there's not much more that I could say about Coach Henses that everyone here already doesn't know. I mean, the adjectives, the characteristics we used to describe him, I would agree with all of them and add a few more here. Just give a little bit of insights on my career at Dunmore and where I started from. So I came to Dunmore in 8th grade. I went to St. Mary's in Dunmore beforehand. So I was a little bit of an outsider coming in here to Dunmore. And Coach Henses welcomed me with open arms there. You know, I never felt like an outsider from the first day I was in here. I was accepted. Being one of the only freshmen on the varsity team, he made sure that there was nothing going on, that I was not getting bullied or anything was happening that way, and that just speaks to, Coach Henses' character and discipline of how he controlled the team there. Going into the freshman year, after your first quarter report card, there'd be a line of students standing right outside the door here, and you weren't allowed to enter until Coach Henses looked at your report card. He had your report card, and he had a notebook and a pen and pad right there. And if you weren't passing a class, he was going to write that down. He was going to talk to your teacher, and if your grades weren't up to par, he was going to talk to your teacher about it. So I know English was always my worst class, and he used to always ask me, Michael, why do you have an 85 in English? And I used to always say on me about that English grade, about trying to bring it up to a 90 like all my other ones there. So, he always strived for more and pushed you more, even if you weren't, on the borderline of failing there. Turned to my sophomore year, where he's teaching me for driver's ed. And, just to show that Coach Hennes always go above and beyond, I'd wake up from school, I'd go out to my kitchen table, Coach Hennes would be having coffee with my mom and my grandmother. He'd say, Michael, get dressed, we're gonna go driving before school. And how do you say no to Coach Henses? You don't, right? So even after I left Dunmore High School, I went on to Bryant University. Coach Hennes and Roseanne used to, call in and check on me regularly. I would get postcards from them up at school, and that even carried throughout when I was living in Denver when I started my career. They always thought about me as more than just a football player. They cared about me as a person. And going on when I moved back to this area, when my mother had a stroke in 2016, Coach Hennes was one of the guys that showed up at the hospital, and he was right there for me and my family. And I appreciate everything that Coach has done for me. And even at my wedding in 2020, Coach Hennes was right there in the church with me there. So, Coach, I look at you as more than just a coach. You're a father figure, a great role model to all of us, and I love you and thank you for having me part of the ceremony.
I just have one thing to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jack Henses.
I'd like to take a few minutes to express my gratitude for this wonderful honor. I could not have accomplished this success with the help and support of the following people: the past administration of the Dunmore Board of Education and Administration, the current and past members of the Friends of the Bucks, to all teachers, staff, coaches that I have worked with here at Dunmore community for their support and dedication, to my family and friends, especially my wife Roseanne, most importantly to all the students and players I had the privilege to be part of their lives. Dunmore was my home away from home. I will always cherish those memories. And once again, always a buck, always a buck. Thank you very much.
Jack Henses, Dunmore High School. Educator, coach, mentor, friend. 413 wins here, 155 losses, 8 ties. And like he just said earlier, once a buck, always a buck.
Next season. Hey, I'm not even going to be here next season. Go figure it out. He says that every year. He says that every year.
I want 5 copies. Here we go. Okay, thank you. I'll be up. Congratulations, Coach. Great honor, buddy. Great honor. Well deserved. 5 copies. Well deserved. Both with Joe. Yeah.
Mayor, I was just going to ask you this. Did you get July 22nd. Oh, wonderful. Well, maybe we'll be a grab. I'm going to try to take a picture.
Is this your blog in the picture too?
Yeah, come on. Sammy.
We just make it.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting
All right. Good job, guys. Good job.
The wing's got me 28
So, Coach, how do you feel tonight being honored? That's unbelievable.
This is a wonderful honor. I appreciate it so very much. I want to thank Dunmore School Board and the Board of Education for this wonderful honor. It's truly tremendous. Thank you very much.
And what's your classic line? What do you always say? Once
a buck, always a buck.
Love it.
Here we go.
Okay, wonderful.
Say trouble on.
How about cheese? Oh, look at that's what I got.
I got about 6 of them.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You went on.
Oh, those are my
John Frank Henses. Oh, I'm on vacation. We're on the page here, Robert Wall. Okay. Am I in the way? How are you?
Well, I'm not the foundation of it. Coach Henses is. I'm one of the fruits of his labor, you know, because he had a great passion and a great intensity for the game of football. And I kind of caught that from him and made it a career. You know, I don't think it would have happened if he wasn't the coach here at Dunmore. So always thankful for that. And I think the whole town of Dunmore is thankful to have him as our head coach for 47 years. Did a lot of good things here besides win football games, and I think the town should be thankful forever, and this statue should signify that. Yeah, I mean, this is home, always has been, always will be, even though I don't get to spend much time here now. But Dunmore's my hometown, and I make no bones about that, and anytime I can support the town, I do.
What did it mean hearing a lot of those words and things like that?
I've coached those boys for many years. They were tremendous. They're good. First of all, they're good students. They're excellent football players. I enjoyed working with them very much. Once a buck, always a buck.
What do you think of the statue? Does it look like you, or?
I think it's an honor. It's an honor.
Anything else?
I love the people from Dunmore. They're great to me. I love them very much.
Great, Jack. Thanks.
Okay.
It was good seeing you again. It's always been a pleasure talking to you and coaching you and covering you and everything.
Oh, yeah. Nice. All right, say us about your name.
Jake Henses, Jakehenses.
And you are the grandson
Yes, sir.
of the legendary Coach Henses.
Yes, sir.
And who's your here?
Jack and Denise.
Okay, you're back.
Yes, yeah.
So tell us about what's going through your mind today. Your grandfather being honored with the statue.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable opportunity for our family. He's been an inspiration to everyone in the community of Dunmore, our family, and to be here and celebrate with him is just a beautiful moment for everyone in the Henzes family.
And Jake, you realize your grandfather, how many lives he touched? Look at all these folks coming an hour and a half before a game. That means a lot to you, I'm sure.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's 47 years and the amount of success he had on and off the field and the lives that he touched and the people that he was able to help and improve, and it's just an unbelievable thing. Absolutely. I mean, that's his greatest quality, is that he is able to create life lessons out of every opportunity. He's able to teach and educate everyone and provide examples and opportunity for them to learn from their mistakes and their successes.
And Jake, I'm an example. I wasn't the goodest football player, as
Sure.
I jokingly say,
Sure.
but the life lesson stuck with me.
Absolutely. It was part of my experience as well, learning from him and being coached by him from a young age and being so fortunate to be around the program my entire childhood is just wonderful. And I've learned so much as an athlete and now as a coach.
Dr. Jack Henses, correct?
Yes.
Son of the legendary coach.
Thank you. Yes, correct.
So, Coach, Doc, tremendous family moment here. Just talk about it.
Well, it was a very special moment, and I'd just like to say on behalf of my dad and my family, we want to thank everyone who showed up today. Special thanks to the Friends of the Bucks who were instrumental in raising the funds to have this statue. And the best thing I can say is that my dad had the greatest job for 47 years.
And what does it mean to you and the family? This tremendous turnout, 2 hours before a football game, they turn out to see this event. That's very special.
Well, the Dunmore community is very, very special. My dad has had such support since 1970 when he showed up. The community has always been behind him. They've let their sons come and play, and I'll tell you as much, my dad loved teaching the students more than anything. He loved being an educator. He loved all the students, everything about the school. Like I said, he had the best job for 47 years. Yes, I think my dad tried to instill in his own children, as well as all the players and students that he taught, that you have to respect yourself first, and when you do that, then you'll move forward in life and you'll do the right thing. And that's what he always preached.
Doc, what was his reaction when he heard that they were doing this? I'm sure
his reaction, well, he never really wanted to, he doesn't like the limelight. We had to hold the secret from him until yesterday, and we even didn't tell him that. We told him he was getting an award because he would have not been happy with it. He would have been upset that they were going through all this effort for him. He never really liked the limelight. He always wanted the players and the students to be in the front. So
the statue was a surprise?
It was a surprise to him. He didn't know.
Oh, he thought he was going to get like a plaque.
Yes. Well, it's probably the worst kept secret in Dunmore since almost everybody knew but him. But nobody told him, and he just didn't. He didn't know till today when they unveiled the statue. He didn't know that he was having a statue in his honor because it's the community is bigger, the school is bigger, the team is bigger than the individuals, and that's what he always preached. So.